Gonna climb a tree. We have a pied kingfisher that is sitting very still, perching on the tree there and waiting for any opportunity. There we go, just as I was saying. Did you manage to actually get something there? Or you're gonna try to go a little bit up? So when they actually go up like that, it helps in terms of them seeing the movement of anything that actually moves without actually being noticed. They'll notice will move. So the jump seemed that it was not successful. And there you go. Let's see if that was actually successful. Not yet. Still have some strength to go.
Every sunrise produces a unique opportunity for a new story, while every sunset leaves us wanting just a little bit more from the day. Thank you for joining us on Safari Plus. We'll see you next time.
Features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your sunrise safari here at Wild Earth. We are coming to you from the Sabi Sands, and if you're watching this, you probably got the memo that we started 30 minutes earlier. Still a little bit dark, but beautiful to be out, and we're quite excited to get going a little bit earlier and see if we can get a bit more action straight off the bat. My name is Ian, and with me is Paul, who will be getting all the cracking shots today. But before we start, we're having a few tech issues with some of the feed, so I hope they'll be joining us a little bit later. Tech is working on it, but while we've started, let's just check in on a highlight we had of Rolani yesterday evening, and go and check that and see how that went down if you missed it.
Well, Rulani is just loving the buffalo dung here, trying to mask her scent. So rolling her neck all on the side, and she'll turn over and she'll roll on to the other side.
Come straight to the Gungang Road.
There we go. She's happy now. Oh, there she runs. And she's just... Where did she just go? My word, she's got so much energy all of a sudden. And she's coming down. It's giving old Biba a good a run for his money here with the camera work. I mean, how quick does she runs from one side to the other side, from bottom to top. Oh, there she's gone again. Oh.
A really cool sighting of Rolani there. I thought it might have been what we saw yesterday, which was a bit of a struggle. I have to say, she was in a really thick spot, difficult to get in there. Lots of trees and bushes. I guess that is what leopards do. We did see, we got a nice view of her, but she was quite close to the vehicle. There are some vehicles that are following up on her from last night.
I'm going to go now.
So we're just sort of standing by waiting to see how that unfolds. Let's turn this down a bit, but it's also, I'm trying to drive and shine the spotlight and listen to the radio and talk sense to you. So my multitasking skills are definitely improving. But it really does get quite light quickly out here in the bush, so nice that we've shifted a little bit earlier. Yeah, remember this is a live show, so please send questions and comments, and while we wait for the other feeds, it's great to have some interaction and I can maybe answer some questions and keep the show moving along. But looking for some eye shine still, but just in the sort of 5 minutes that we started, it's already almost like time to put the spotlight away. Yeah, my Zotis, we are ready for action. Paul was up at about 4 o'clock this morning. So, and believe it or not, I was like up at about 4:15, so that was a good sign. Ready for action. Ready for a new day. It's not a cloud in the sky. We had like 2 days of sort of cloudy, windy weather, but this morning looks like it's going to be a cracker. And often when the weather just settles a bit, you do get more action. So let's hold thumbs for that. I don't want to jinx it just yet, but you got to be optimistic out here, and you got to be in it to win it. I'm sort of driving through some thick stuff, lots of these bush willows, and the grass still quite long. But the only challenge for me is like trying to spot tracks when it's still so dark. You know, what you don't want to do is drive over the tracks. So every now and again, and it's also you want to get the tracks, the light at a bit of an angle. But yeah, as you can see, it's still quite difficult to pick up good tracks. But this is the time to be out. This is the time when the most of the cats are still very active, and I think we're in for an interesting morning. I've got a feeling, I've got a gut feeling. Puma, I must say, you know, when I think I was, you know, I've only worked in Mabula for Wild Earth, and it just felt like, you know, Cedric was finding leopard around every corner, and I thought, well, you know, I'll get to the sands and hopefully I'll find some leopard. You got to work quite hard, so that's been a bit of a surprise. I thought it would be a bit easier. And then the other thing is just there's quite a lot going on the radio, so that's something that you know, you probably don't pick up so much when you're at one of the other locations. But so far, I think not too many surprises. Just nice time to be here as well. This sort of time of the year is kind of like my favorite. It's still quite cool. Not too warm, the sort of end of the dry season. Dan, can I get a number there, please? Stephanie?
Yeah, just take one for now. It's a tight spot there. Let's take one.
Okay, copy. Thanks, man. It's always a good time for birding, I think, but my favorite time for birding is definitely in the summer, when the migrants start arriving, maybe the first rains. But yesterday I sat on outside my tent after brekkie, and I had about 10 birds come past African paradise flycatcher, eastern nickiter, white-browed scrub robin, terrestrial brown bull, white-throated robin chat, puffback. It was great. And they were close, and obviously I didn't have my camera, but nice birds in the camp. When we're on drive, it's a little bit hard to stop and get these birds on the camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely come out here with those guys. I'll see if they've got something. Can't we go in?
Dan, confirm I can make my way? Right, I'll get to that question now.
Yeah, and you can go join Daniel.
Thank you, making my way. We just, they did pick up Rolani, so we're going to go and see what's happening. Apparently she went and laid down, and not the best visual, but you've got to be there. Ethical birding. I guess it's just observing at a distance, not chasing birds. It's, you know, you will know when you are annoying the birds. I think use of playback has become too easy with a lot of the apps, and when you start birding, or there's this, you know, a lot of competitions, and so there's a lot of you know, when you compete you want to see more birds than the next guy. But yeah, I think ethical birding is sitting in one place and waiting for the birds to sort of come to you, but that can be a long wait, so we just have busy schedules, maybe not the patience. I think we don't need the spotlight anymore. Okay, let's go and see if check in on Rolani. We're not too far.
Just reporting on south,
Always a fun time on the radio listening to the updates. I've got some line tracks somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, you're coming up to cut lines.
But yeah, this time of the day, I think the type of birding that one can do is just, you know, like listening and 7:30 in George. Yo, Raj, what time? I wonder what time it's. It looks like it's going to come up in about maybe the next 20 minutes. Yeah. The garden route, my home patch at the moment.
Yeah, I've got the majority of them coming also here up to the west, mobile, or mainly mobile in the easterly direction. Just gonna sit around and jump all in.
But yeah, the seasons are changing, although I think the garden route's still got a little bit of winter left. Here in the bush, it's summer comes quickly, and even the last few days have, even though we had that sort of overcast conditions, a bit of wind, it hasn't felt like winter. Thanks, Amy. Let's hope we can connect with her. As I said, like, she was in quite some thick stuff, and we're getting close to that area. Let me just check. Danfield. I'm just going to go in here behind this other vehicle. So we're going to go and try and get into the sighting, and while we do that, let's go and check in with Imara, who's joined the show and is on the move. Do you think that other side?
Well, good luck, Ian, with your leopard sighting or out here. in cloudy Masai Mara with a bit of sun, at least in the background. We are going to be looking for our lions as usual, but also it is nice to see whatever nature does provide. And today, this morning, we are going to be out here and hopefully we will spot one of them. The location I am in is where Kaleo was and Lola and Imperius, so I want to see if they're still around. And I've been coming back to check if they've had any luck with any, let's say, a hunt, because they've been looking quite hungry. But yesterday we also got to see one of the females of paradise. People keep on saying that she's called earless, but actually here in the Masai Mara she's called Mama Kali, meaning very strict woman or very harsh mom or something, very tough, let's say. So strict, tough, that is her. And she is definitely a beautiful lioness, and also it's going to be another stop on our list today just to get good updates. But here we are with a balloon in the sky and some elephants on the ground. At least I've been really enjoying this area, which I'm glad to know that they're still around. And the beautiful tree line. Morning is still coming in. So you're just seeing a little bit of like golden light, but not really golden, as we would say. And as I've mentioned, we did see Mama Kali. Don't think about earless. Let's stick with their nice name. So Mama Kali was on the hippo yesterday, and we can show you guys a highlight of how it was. And we have just been driving, trying to get to what we hear, or what we've had, and now here we are, was a hippo that was taken down a few days ago. I'm not so sure who this is at the moment, but we have one of the T-boys. He's sleeping very far away from us. He's in some grass. He's very full. Look at that. She's going in. She's really enjoying it. Maybe this hippo doesn't seem to have been like a full grown. We've seen much bigger hippos, so I like to think it was a bit of a medium-sized hippo. A hippo is no easy feat also. You can get very injured if you're not well experienced, let's say. How amazing was that? She does look like a tough lady, and I just like her eyes. She's very, I don't know, they keep on saying, because I talked to some other guides who have seen her for a much longer period of time. They followed her for more years than I have, and they say that when she's sitting down, she's sitting, but when she gets up with a purpose, and she executes, and she gets whatever she wants. She can even take down big animals by herself. I hear she's very powerful and very, very strict. So she's a lioness. I think they definitely named her after, Mama Kali being tough for a reason. So I hope we will see her today. That area was pretty rocky, but I hope that they're still around. If they're not around, we'll still find a way to get to them. And look at her, at least the sun is coming up nicely. Overcast cloud today and this morning. Now look at that tree. There's one tree in particular, the background, if you can see, has more green where the ellies are. Love that tree. Just sticks out so well. And also wonder if this is the same elephants who were blocking our road yesterday at camp. There's one boy with a missing tail. Henrietta, thank you for your question. No, have never actually. I've seen multiple of them, many over the years here in the Masai Mara flying about. And I don't know, I'm not really feeling like I'm missing out on anything. It does look fun, but I'm okay with just driving around, but I've never experienced the balloons, no. Maybe one day, but again, I'm okay with just driving around and being closer to the animals here. So now the tree line right there, behind it is Mara River, and then on the other side goes to Mara Triangle. So it's still Masai Mara. It's just that when you have to get to that side, you have to go through one of the gates on the other side or use Mara Bridge. So getting on that side, it's a whole different process. very beautiful. You have different lion prides. Landscape is also quite different because you're next to the escarpment, so you kind of see it like much closer. The photographs, the imagery does look very, very different. Oh, more balloons. And as we try to look around for our big cats in this morning, I'm going to send you over to Ian, and who I hear has some leopard. Well, the leopard he was looking for. Let's go see.
Yes, we managed to, I can't say we found Rolani. Dan from Chitwa called us in, but nice to see her. She is so relaxed. I'm so impressed how relaxed this leopard is. And she's just hiding behind a little bit of grass there, but she just moved before you came. We had not much of a better view, but it's a view nonetheless. And she's got her eyes closed, and now she's moving her head. She's not too far from that impala that she took down. There's still quite a lot of meat there, and I'm surprised. I mean, it's really big, so we're all sort of surmising why she hasn't treed it, or maybe it's a bit too heavy for her. But the hyenas haven't found her, so that's really good. Nah, Laksa doesn't get old. Well, I don't think it gets old. You know, sometimes you'll get sightings like this where you only see a few spots, and then sometimes you'll have a sighting of a leopard. She's in a tree. It's great. You've got your camera out. You could sit there all day. It doesn't get old. It doesn't get tired. Well, I don't think so anyway. I'll ask him, Paul. He's been doing this longer than I have. But they've all got their own characters and their own habits, and it's so just to be able to spend time with them and observe them, you know. That's what I really enjoy, and that's how we learn. Oh, there she puts her head down, camouflaged in this tawny grass. Bit tricky to see her there.
Dashcam light on.
So we're just going to show you the actually there's enough light there, I think. We're just going to show you where the kill is, and Paul's just repositioning. So, and yesterday when we first saw her, she was just to the left of this impala carcass. And then we came in again for a second time last night, and we came in on this side, and she was on the other side of that bush, so we had to drive around. And now so she's moved a little bit. So this is the third time we've sort of popped in, and she's been in 3 different positions each time. So not far from the carcass, I'd say probably within a 10-15 meter radius. I think she knows, you know, if she does get surprised by maybe a hyena or something, that she's not on the carcass. They will go for the carcass, and she'll have to have a little bit extra time to bolt. But yeah, so far she's had a whole night of feeding. Yesterday we sort of saw quite a bit of the stomach out, and now it looks like she's gone to the forehead, the 4 quarters, probably taken out the heart. A little bit of claret there, not too offensive hopefully. But we are quite close to her, so to keep moving and repositioning, I don't really like doing that. But she's still sleeping here. And this is where you want to, you know, sort of spend time, and you've got to be patient and wait to see if she'll start eating or what she'll do. But right now, She's just resting.
My name is David. I have a wealth of experience being in African bushes for so many years. It gives me a lot of joy when I am able to translate what is happening on the ground. You're looking good. Jumbo to all of you. Let's go. Before you go back home, as my guest, you're going to take home a memorable safari experience. Look at that particular frog.
Starting to become that independent leopard now. And these 10 cubs belong to 4 different females.
They sometimes come and say hi.
We know that adverts pay our bills, but you don't necessarily like them. So, this is a fantastic way to stop being interrupted. Sign up today and you'll get instant access to wildlife. 24/7, ad-free, live and on demand. No pesky commercials, no rude interruptions, just wild Africa exactly as it unfolds. Wild Earth Explorers, wilder together.
But also these, leopard, if you keep chasing the leopard, the next time you want to see the leopard, you're going to chase it away, you're going to make your job harder next time. So that's not thinking ahead. So guides also are very aware of that. These are your work colleagues. But while we sort of sit and see if Rolani moves around a bit, let's have a change of scenery and check in with Amara, who's doing some birding.
At least you got to see a leopard. We haven't seen a leopard in quite a long time. The leopards in this area are very shy, but you never know. With a lot of timing and luck, can find the beautiful leopards of the area. And it's true, animals, they do come first. Oh, nice, Jay. Look at that black-headed heron flying and then landing down. These guys like this area a lot. The grass is really good for having all the food that they're looking for, all of the insects, all of the not tadpoles, actually, frogs. See a lot of frogs in this area. I know the birds go crazy and they're very healthy. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's like you've seen something. He's walking really fast. Oh. Yeah, you see, in the early morning, they're very busy. From grasshoppers, lizards. Oh, you got something, didn't you? I think that was a frog. Again, this area has so many frogs. I feel sorry for the frogs. They're just getting massacred by all these birds, because not only do the black herons come here, you have the cattle egrets. Sometimes you even see the woolly-necked stork at our sacred ibis. So how many different birds coming here to... Oh, you've been joined by some cattle egrets? Look at that. Guys, this is a buffet. Look at the size difference of the cattle egret. Not only the cattle egrets need to also follow like elephants, which we did see a little bit. I'm sure they passed around here. But sometimes they're like, okay, we follow the elephants. Let us go and do it ourselves instead of just following them behind. Because with cattle egrets, they take advantage of when elephants or even large animals, buffaloes, even sometimes wildebeest, any type of movement. Sometimes they also take advantage of tractors, for example, on a farm, and they will be following and taking advantage of the insects jumping out of the grass. That looks so pretty. When the sun is coming through, you can see the golden light just hitting them. Ida, thank you for your question. We see a lot of the time we have our martial eagle, sometimes with the black-chested snake eagle. I haven't seen it though in a few months. And our favorite, our African fish eagle, bateleur. So many different types. So those are the main ones that we see a lot here. Oh, the bateleur is a beautiful one. I was trying to see which was going to be on its nest, because we did see a nest of it a few days ago. Well, we noticed it a few weeks ago, but we went back just to see if there's any update, but no one was home. But the first time we saw it, there was one of them sitting on the nest. So that's made us curious, like we just wanted to go back and see if there was any development. Might try it again maybe in the afternoon, because they're much farther from where we are right now. Oh yeah, there we go. We have the woolly neck stalk right there, the black, and then it has white neck. Oh, and our hammercop, our favorite hammercops. Those guys are really fun to watch also. All these birds, they take advantage of also the short grass. The woolly neck stalk, as they migrate actually, you don't get to see them here all the time. Once Kenya, in the Masai Mara, let me say, the controlled burning does occur, they come in and they can smell as if like, oh, they know there's a burning going on, because a lot of birds know that's going to be an easy opportunity for us to find food. It's always about food or mating or maybe moving to another location, of course, with resources so you can live in. So I've only been seeing about 1 or 2 woolly neck stalks around this area. And there are some sections that were burnt in here in the Masai Mara. So I'm sure that attracted them too. Julia, thank you for your question. It all depends a lot on, okay, we have different birds. When you look at the ostrich, is a good example. The ostrich, of course, it's a more of a terrier. It doesn't fly, so always on the ground. But the ostrich, the male, is black and has white feathers. But during breeding season, he has, sometimes looks pale pink or just like a very dull pink when it's not mating season. But once the mating season comes around, it's very vibrant on both the neck and leg skin. So that's one. And then usually sometimes you look at even our cattle egrets. When it gets their plumage, they look white, but they do have a bit of orangish, yellowish, brownish color, let me say, between that on their head and their chest, which also does become more vibrant. And Big James' favorite bird, the redneck's profile, their beak area, their legs turn more red. And so there's some sections where you see the males looking more vibrant. And also they do their courtship dance, which is very, very fun to watch, especially the ostrich. The ostrich is so interesting to watch because they swing their neck like it's the most flexible thing, like there's nothing, it's just dancing, dancing, dancing. And we did see a mating pair, I think, was it? Yeah, the days keep on mixing up out here. Every day is not the same. Every day is different, but I remember that day it was very funny watching it with Big James and a male who was running after the female, and the female was letting him know that she was ready for courtship. Hey, hammercop. And these guys build very big nests. I'm also going to try to look for some of the nests, but the areas I've seen them in, more in the forest. So I wonder where you guys are keeping your nests. And here we have a cattle egret. These guys are also quite fun to watch, especially when they're all together flying. If you're looking for buffaloes or elephants and you have an idea, just look at some cattle egrets. If they're all flying together, you'll definitely get the big animals. And our woolly neck stalks, nice. So let's show you guys actually a highlight of what I'm trying to explain with the whole ostrich dance. It was when me and James are looking at them, so you guys can take a look in this highlight. Is he dancing? Wait, guys, there's something going on here. Hold on. No, I was telling you he's pink. Look at him walking towards her, and she's giving good signals. She's like, hey, yes, it's mating season. Oh my gosh. Oh my, oh my. Guys, they're mating. Look at him. Oh my goodness. I've been wanting to see this for a very, very long time. Oh my. You see? Oh. That was amazing. I didn't expect that. I love watching ostriches having the whole dance and the mating process because you don't get to see it often. Once you see the males looking vibrant, in your head you're thinking, it's the season. It is the season for the ostrich dances. So hopefully we'll get to see a few of them. I'll try to find them if they're around. But our other birdies here are still enjoying their breakfast. Look at that, 4 different species. Woolly neck, black-headed heron, cattle egret, hammerkop. Even the woolly neck stalk, when you see them all together, it's pretty fun. They like to be on the trees, a lot of the balanite trees. You see them just waiting there until the sun comes up, or morning time, evening, you see them going back. Some birds here are bullies. I noticed the herons don't look like bullies, but trust me, they can be. But the heron looks like it's just chilling right now. I'm going to take you back to Ian and the leopardess, see how she's doing, and hear a bit of an update.
We're back to rather flat Rulani. We had a brief look at her face, but as we moved positions, but she's very relaxed there, and I can tell you, if she's maybe 40 meters from the road, and you could drive past this road and you would not spot. Yeah, sorry, it looks like the gremlins are working a little bit, but I was just going on about how many animals we must drive past, because she's maybe 40 meters from the road and flat as a pancake. If you hit the road, you would not see this cat. Obviously the camouflage is just so impressive, beautiful coat, all the spots. Yeah, I was talking about the gremlins this morning. Sandringham and Mabula are still being worked on by our tech, so hopefully they will come online soon. Tough gig being in tech, I think. I guess you choose your tough. Oh, she is sleeping. Tatum, I would love to know how stressed these, I think these animals just get on with it. Being a mother with a cub must be quite stressful. I think, if you look back at your childhood being a cub, you're not too stressed, but she's fending for herself, so if that comes with a level of stress, they don't sort of show it. I don't think they show it. I haven't sort of seen it. But I would say the biggest sort of stress is when you got to look after a cub. That must be quite... But maybe that's just human stress that we're projecting onto these animals. Maybe one day I'll come back as a leopard. Then you can tell the full story. But she doesn't look too stressed at the moment, that's for sure. She's not paying us much attention. Yeah, Darkman Lover, I think you're right. I try to have a look at her nose, and for me, the younger animals, lions, younger cats, they have that sort of pinky nose and starting to look quite dark, so I think your comment is spot on. Excuse the pun. But yeah, we were hoping, the other vehicles have they've left. I think quite a few of the guests and guides saw her last night, and they've heard that the visual is a little bit flat. So I think a lot of people might come back, but we're here all alone with her. No one's checking in with her, but we might go and look for something else later. We'll just see if anything happens, and while we do that, let's go and see our other feed that's running, Amara. While the sun comes up behind us, she's got some elephants.
That is also another thing with me. I'm always like, wow, just love them, so beautiful. And you can see how they're just enjoying the grass. All these other birds that we had around on the frame previously, they also like to follow these guys, not only disturbing the grass, but sometimes when the elephant has done its number 2, the droppings all around, and a few days later, a few hours later, you have some beetles and even sometimes larvae in the dung itself. So you even see hammerkops going through the elephant poop. So you always see them sometimes in areas where, of course, abundance in resources. So it does kind of have a whole loop, or let's say a cycle. Elephants will go to places where there's lots of grass, lots of resources, water, different vegetation, and then, of course, have their droppings in that area. Then some birds will come and enjoy the droppings because of what it hosts inside after, of course, they're down the ground. And it's like a whole cycle. So when you're seeing areas of resources, again, let me just say places with a lot of grass, a lot of greenery, water, you tend to see a lot of life because they're all supporting each other in one way or another. As I said, the elephants come eat droppings. Even the insects themselves benefit from the elephant droppings. Then the birds come and eat the insects. And then you just see like a whole vibrant environment full of different species. So they all rely on each other, which I think is quite amazing. It brings them all together. This female looks familiar. We've been seeing very familiar characters recently. Her tusks, they look very, again, familiar. I feel like I've seen you before. There's a female who has a tusk looking very equal to each other. Ah, look at that. She's so beautiful. Yeah, they look very equal, I think, yeah. I'm going to look at the ears now and try to remember. Her left ears have a lot of wear and tear. It just happens even when they're going through some thick bushes, and, with ears come a lot of ear cuts. Gwendolyn, thank you for your question. Well, it all does depend on how you're seeing things. If you do allow yourself to connect with the animal, then you'll definitely learn. Because sometimes when people come out on game drives, they just want to see the animal itself. They don't want to know about the animal's behavior or what it could teach them. It's just like, oh, I got a picture, I got a selfie, I'm done. But when you now look beyond that, you come here and you be like, okay, they all look different. They're elephants, but they all look different. Their tusks look different. So what that leads down to is they're all individuals. We are all individuals. So myself and like this elephant, how can I relate to the elephant? Elephant is one, eating. So it's always good for us to, have some energy in our bodies. And also just taking it easy sometimes. Elephants are really good with saying, there's a saying actually in Kenya, we have haraka haraka haina baraka. Quickly, quickly, or fast, fast has no blessings. And elephants, I think, are a good teacher. Look at them. I'll even keep quiet and can just watch how slowly they take it. And they get so much blessings. So again, haraka haraka, haina baraka. You just go pole pole, slowly, slowly. That's what I would observe from elephants. It's always good just to look at them and not think of it just as an elephant. Obviously, yes, it's an elephant, but the more time you spend with them, of course, you'll see their personalities, which I like to talk about a lot, from our lions, even the hammer cops. If you spend more time with the hammer cops and you just observe individuals, you'll be like, you seem like a bully. You seem very relaxed. Some seem like, oh, you don't want to be with the other hammer cops. They're just like us. We're all different. We understand things differently, see things differently, different perspectives. That's how it is, and that's how life should be. Oh, very good looking elephants. Wait, hold on. You're not a girl, so it's not you, it's a boy. It's a boy. Athena, well, they start learning when they're really young. So when you see them hearing mom's rumbles, the ear flaps, raising of the trunk, different ways of communicating. My goodness, you look like a familiar female, but no, you're not. My bad. But they do learn a lot from their young age. It's just like us. You have a baby, you keep on talking like some familiar words around the baby. If you're saying like mama or daddy or dad or whatever, and they'll start saying mom and dad, and they just start picking up. They notice, this is how you guys say this word. Young ones are very smart. They pick up on things very fast, and it's the same with our earlies. Young ones will be noticing what ways to communicate. One thing I was thinking about, actually, when you look at elephant sanctuaries, I'm sure the elephants who have been rescued, because most of them are usually orphaned and they are found, and of course you just don't leave the young ones alone. But when they're much younger, of course they're having caretakers who are humans. And I always wondered now the whole difference between the elephants in the wild like this, in the open nature where they're raised with other elephants, versus elephants who grew up around humans. Usually they do get reintroduced to the other elephants. So what I'm trying to say is I always wonder how the elephant raised by the caretakers versus the elephants raised by other elephants, when they meet each other, what kind of conversation now happens? Will they understand each other? Is there something they're like, yeah, you look like me, you smell like me, but why am I thinking of things differently? So that's something I would love to get more into. And even not even get into, I'd love to actually witness an elephant being introduced to other elephants. So that whole upbringing is very different. Because now the elephants who, look at you going down. Like other elephants who are raised by other elephants, of course, they are taught now differently. The different species of plants around, which routes to take, how to behave, especially towards like maybe lions or danger. So, and then now you look at the other ones who are raised by caretakers, how is it for them? Felicity, oh wow, first time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope it's not just going to be the first. Oh, our boy is walking towards us. Let's see how he will be. He's curious. It's a good walk by. Just wanted to say hello. Oh, I love elephants. It's always about their timing. He was curious. He came, smelled the car, and now he wants to continue eating. Dakota, thank you for your question. Let's see. There have been few moments. It's usually with elephant kills. Sometimes they go after like a little young one. It was a buffalo actually. And I just felt like it wasn't fair, but I can't, you can't choose sides, so you just have to, you couldn't do anything. So in such moments, I usually felt like, oh, this is really tough. You think about it for such a long period of time, and you're just wondering, what do we do? Like, what, you can't do anything. Even if we weren't there, it would still be the same outcome. So usually it does come to those moments of how, like, again, yeah, it's even right now makes me emotional because I'm always wondering, oh, we can't do anything, and it's just how it is. So with nature, it's not always pretty. It's not, and you just have to be like, okay, wow, that happened. And even sometimes when I hear a lion that we followed around just died, maybe from like other conflictions with other lions, and in your head you're thinking, but why? We followed this boy for such a long time. He, of course, lions will fight each other, but you always think like, wow, a lion that I followed and seen for even like 2 years just now gone. And it does get to you, especially, both sides. It's very tough to pick. You're just supposed to be an observer and just be there to see how nature is. Oh, but that elephant sighting was nice. Oh, that was good. It's like taking a double espresso. You get energy. You're just like, whoop. But you can always tell from their behavior, how they're feeling. And he's not the only male here. There are other young males, and I think they're following him and learning from him too. Because you have some female young one. Oh, the sun's coming through. This is like the best type of sun. It's like not hot. It's just like a little bit of warmth, Oh, but our big boy is just here on our right. That was nice. And the rest are just there enjoying it. So you see what's the whole lesson right now for elephants? Haraka, haraka, haina, baraka. Fast, fast has no blessings. Pam. Honestly, yes, it does get your heart beating, but now that's the point where it gets like, it's like a connection. So when he was here, because I'm sitting here, as you can see, and you just have to look at him, and we did a good eye contact where it's like, yeah, cool, let him do his thing. And you always see how their eyes are. You look at the ears. He wanted to smell the bonnet. I think he was curious about the starlink. He's like, what is this? But even how he was walking, it was more of like curiosity. So when you get to just listen to their body and let's say their way of communicating, then and also being calm, that's the whole point. You just have to sometimes just look at them and be like, yeah, good morning. And that's usually it. So at least with the elephants, it's always nice to learn some patience from them too.
Can you hear that sound? Away
it grows, the way it calls you to come alive. Can you feel the rhythm? The way it beats with the land? Do you feel alive again? Or maybe you never left. You don't just visit the wild, you return to it.
Oh, even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word. She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. Whoa. This is action-packed.
Would you like to know what an elephant's favorite food is? You could ask me questions like that in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive from the heart of Africa. Over here. Watch Safari Live and connect with nature. Sign up today and you'll get instant access to wildlife. You'll also have access to our post-produced content, like a Wild Bush Week. Textbooks tell us that a ratio of 3-to-1 hyenas drive off lionesses. SafariLIVE Catch-Up.
We have got some doggies that are on the hunt.
And even that sort of cult favourite, The Wild Show. And the little one has made it out. Hopefully will rejoin the herd. Wild Earth Explorers. Wilder. Together.
Hi there, my name is Kerry Dupree, wildlife presenter and guide. What I love the most about guiding is being able to share my love for wildlife and nature with my guests. Very exciting to find those cheetah boys on a kill. Being passionate about your job makes the world of a difference because your guide definitely sets the tone of every adventure.
Just see the moon up in front of us, and yeah, it's a cracking morning, I have to say. Let's go down here, check out Little Gari. Hollis, sounds like you know a lot more about it than I do. I didn't know they had the longest breeding cycle, so I don't think I'm going to be able to shed much light on that question, I'm afraid. I can't even think of something smarter on that. Oh, there's a steenbok that's just skedaddled. This has been quite a productive road for us in the last few days, so hoping that that's going to stay. But yeah, maybe I need to go and study up on Bateleur breeding cycles. Just have a quick look and see if there are any tracks, inciting tracks. Like maybe there's some, I think it's civet that walked here. Looks like we've got a bit of a rhino midden as well. But all the team are looking for lions this morning, tracking them down. So we'd love to find the lions this morning. We're always looking for lions, always looking for leopard, and anything else that's exciting. While we keep going and looking, let's go and check out a virtual safari in Kafue.
Good morning, my name is Quinten Smit, owner, manager and guide at Kasabushi Camp in the Kafui National Park. So thanks for joining us on this drive and let's see what we can find. So just here to the left of us, you see a small little common duiker. The name kind of gives it away. It's the most common duiker that we've got in this area. So here all around us we've got a bunch of helmeted guinea fowl. In South Africa well known as the tarantale. But if you look around us you kind of see them all running in different directions, and what you quite often see is one running in one direction, turning around, running back the other way, which to me quite entertaining, because the collective name of a group of guinea fowl is actually a confusion of guinea fowl. And if you've lived in the bush for a while, you learn very quickly they're always confused. We've got 3 or possibly 4 southern ground hornbills, the largest of the hornbills. Quite efficient, ferocious hunters. Here in Zambia they often compare them to judges, because the way they walk to the guides it kind of looks like it's a judge pacing up and down in his courtroom. So we just stopped here just for a little bit of a rest. It's got this nice granite formations over here with some little rapids behind us. That's the noise you're hearing in the background. And we just found a large crocodile over here, well, relatively large. I would estimate him at around 3.5 meters. Find a calm place like that and you can sit like that idle for quite a while, just waiting in ambush. If something moves, you'll go just a few centimeters under the water. He's in his prime area, shoot out, grab it, pull it back in. So we've got 2 main baboon types around here. Main one is the yellow baboon, and then we actually have a subspecies, which, if I am correct, if the yellow baboon and the chakma baboon, which is the larger baboon you find further down south, if they reproduce, you get the kinder baboon. Now the yellow baboon and the kinder baboon look extremely similar, yellow baboon being slightly more yellowish in color, but the kinder baboon, if there's babies in between them, that's how you can clearly identify them, because the babies are white. Here in this case you actually see a couple of babies in between them, so it's not albino looking, so it's quite easy to determine that these are then the yellow baboons. You might think from a distance very difficult to determine whether an elephant is a male or a female, but the head tells you quite a bit already. If you look at the head from the side, the female will really, let's see if I can kind of do it with my hand, female will really have an angle, while the male's head is more rounded from the top where it goes down into the trunk. So you can tell that these are a couple of bulls over there. Also, if you look at them from the front, because the male's tusks is much wider, especially where it meets the lip, it kind of turns the head into a bit of an hourglass shape if you look at it front on. And so it is actually very possible from a distance to determine the different sexes of the elephants. These look to be in pretty good shape, quite big tuskers as well. nice mix of two similar predators, yet they couldn't be further apart from each other. In the little water hole, we've got the African fish eagle. Looks like standing in the water, standing still. The fish eagles would hunt by swooping down, grabbing fish out of the water. And just next to it, on the top of a little long, what looks like the twig, is a pied kingfisher. Also eats fish, completely different. It's one of the kingfishers is actually able to hover above the water, and if it spots something, dive bombs into the water to grab it. And actually at the moment it looks like the lapwings there have identified the fish eagle, having a little small go at it. I feel like lapwings don't like anything. Here comes some more pied kingfishers. And there you go, there's the actual hovering. Thanks for joining, and till next time.
Look at that. Nice virtual safari. If you guys ever want to visit, Wild Earth Travel is the place to go. Now hippos seem like they're going somewhere. Where are you guys going? Don't you like to be in your poopy water? So today morning, just watching these guys coming out. This is the most active I've seen them actually. Oh, look at that. A whole train of hippos. Okay guys, I'm just curious how they will react to the others, because hippos can be quite aggressive to one another. Maybe they want a bit of sun, but what is going on? I'm sure you guys ate a lot of grass at night, because these guys do come out of, well, the water is not the cleanest, but let's say yes, the water at night, and they go and graze on land during the day. Let's see, I'm curious. Oh, what's going on? Do they want to just stretch their legs? But it's nice for us to see their whole bodies. This is the most hippos I've seen standing up like this in this location. So this is great. Looks like it's paid off coming back all the time to see our smelly friends in their smelly water. They're not smelly, it's the water that is smelly. But they don't mind it. It's doing the job of keeping them cool, keeping their skin protected. But look at those scars. You can see a bit of red on that one. Most likely an injury from one of the other males. Oh, what is going on? You guys moved from one section to another, but the other section is also pretty full. Also, you can see their feet, the toes. They have toenails made of keratin. Jenny, yes, they can. Definitely can. And when these guys fight, it is quite aggressive. Ah, thank you, Big James. Have you guys ever seen a hippo foot? Look at that. Yep. Look at that. Imagine these guys when they run, they can be in the air for 0.03 seconds if they're running full speed. It's just crazy that those legs can carry them. And well, actually when they're running, they spend most of the time in the water and push themselves up from the riverbed, bottom of it. And they come up to the surface for air, as they only hold their breath for about 5 minutes as an adult. When you're talking about younger hippos, it's much less. Look at that. Nice, James. Getting some good details of hippos, guys. Hello, good morning. But hippos, their eyesight is not the best. They can't even see more than 20 meters if it's an object standing still. They wouldn't know what it is. But they do have like another lid kind of layer that goes on top of their eyes when they're underwater, so they can't see, especially in clearer waters. The places where there are springs and you see, is it Mzima Springs if I'm thinking about it, having hippos in the water there is always clear because it is a spring, underwater spring coming out, and the hippos are able to see clearly through the water because the water is always moving. Oh, yeah, it's a bit of a shift. Oh my. Where are you guys going? Nadia, that is a very interesting observation. I kind of do see that now. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm just curious, like, why did they shift from the other side to this side? Maybe there's a dominant bull who they're like, no, I don't want to be with him. Because if you have a dominant bull and you're another male, you have to show submission to the dominant bull, and how they do that is by actually sometimes pooping in the other one's face, which is so funny. But to them it means a lot of respect. I get to smell and see who you are. Are you a threat to me? Ah, look at those eyes. And look at those tiny ears. Oh, the ears are the tiniest. And he looks sleepy. They do depend a lot on their sense of smell. Look at that. Just that, the way the skull is just so amazing. And their mouths, when they open it, 180 degrees. That's also quite amazing, honestly. Look at the folds. Today we're getting a good detail of the hippos. Thank you, James. Freya, thank you for your question. So, as I mentioned, that they do come out of the water at night to graze, so they do enjoy a lot of the grass, and they use their lip to cut the grass. They don't use their teeth because their teeth are very, like, you have the big tusk, the big canines shooting out. But you'll see that when they're cutting around, it's just like a lawnmower. They trim some sections. You'll see even the hippo path or hippo trail. So when you're looking next to a body of water that they're hippos, you'll always see a path leading out of that water body, and it kind of goes into the savannah. It tells you where that hippo goes, and they can even do 5 kilometers plus in a night of walking. James, look at that, it's a bum. And also through when they've eaten the grass, it's a lot of fertilizer even for other animals, the water, and even in the fish do enjoy the hippo poop, but not too much. If it's too much, it leads to, and also it depends on the water flow, it leads to algae growing, and that also takes out a lot of oxygen in the water. So there's some weird balances here and there, but to the grassland, it does actually just a bit of trimming here and there. Look at this, are just standing out of the water. What's up? They just shifted from the other side, but it's the same water. This side is more congested. I don't know what the plan is. Look at that, it's patiently trying to see. One is using the other as a pillow. Look at the tail also. Trish, yeah, a lot of hippos. I don't even know if I could be able to count all of them because some are just looking like they're merging together. But I'd like to guess that more than 20 hippos, at least in this section, and then you'll have many more down and up this seasonal river. So at least I've been getting a bit of rain. Oh, we also have some elephants in the background. There are more ellies. Also some lapwings. So crowned lapwings, actually. Now one's yawning. You see that? The 180 right there at the bottom right is showing dominance. So that's why I'm curious. Are they feeling a bit... I like this. I'm trying to figure this out. What do you guys think? Oh. And then they're very, very loud. Yeah, look at that scar. Oh. sometimes when you see a hippo out of the water for, maybe during the day actually, and you're thinking, whoa, why is this hippo out the water at such a late hour? I'm not saying this guy because he's next to at least the water and muddy area, but when they're in other places, the rivers and even here, who knows? The wounds, when they're open, it's really deep and painful. Then you have fish that like to come and kind of eat at it and peck at the wound. So they do tend to stay out of the water because their wounds are feeling a bit irritated. So that's usually one of the reasons you see a hippo, even around midday, just walking around. You see the skin is kind of dry, but the red blood, well, the sweat, they say, the red sweat, it looks like blood on their skin, but it's not. It's just another form of them protecting themselves from the sun, which does its job, but it wouldn't do the job for a hippo being out of water for more than 2 days, I don't think so. It would be quite tough. It would be a very difficult time and uncomfortable for the hippo. This one feels like it's in a face-off. Oh, you're resting your head. Kenny, with the social bonds, it is usually about, one, you have the dominant male. He needs to be respected, especially if he's part of like a whole pool. You have the females and the young ones, and you have a boy who's growing up and becoming bigger because they do get kicked out by the dominant male. And if they do show retaliation, they are now kind of have to go and look for a bachelor pod. So they come to sections like this. No. But for them, it's usually just like sticking together, being safe together. Some hippos like to even be on their own. Some having their own like water pond or like, let's say, the water body. Oh, you just wanted space. But this one also has a lot of scars. Look at that. Imagine the fights. And their skin are very tough. Even though it's sensitive to the sun, it is still very tough. Oh, look at that. It's green. Roz, yeah, Big James says Karibu. He's put up his hand. He wants to wave actually. He's right there. Yeah, he says thank you. Look at them. What? There's something ongoing here, guys. Look at that one. The mouth is opening. This is the most active I've seen the hippos. I know it looks very slow, like it's all in slow motion. But trust me, there's something cooking here. It's like a face-off. Either one is enjoying the sun a little bit, or again, very territorial. Bulls can be very aggressive towards one another. Some fights lead to like a lot of bleeding. I don't know if it's led to death, but there's some videos I've seen where, so much blood coming from them. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Opening the mouth, showing what I'm capable of. Look at those canines. Oh my. You see that? Yeah. Guys are communicating right now. They're showing their canines. Like I have big canines too. Yeah, the one in the water, standing in the water, is not happy with this too, I guess. Look at that. He's talking to them and they're not talking back to him. How rude. Mama Tumi. Well, they mate in the water. And, it's really, look at the tongue. That's so crazy. So with the hippos, usually they need to be mating in water because they're very heavy. And the female, you'll just see them in the water. Big James says he's seen it before. Sorry guys, I'm just wondering what's going on here. Look. Are you kissing? No. There's something. I haven't seen this much activity from hippos. Yeah, look at this guy. Sorry. He's not happy. He's wanting him back off. Yeah. Yeah, this is amazing, guys. It paid off, me coming to the hippo jacuzzi area. It's a showdown. Most not intense, but it can get intense. What are you guys saying to each other? None of them have made any sound. How silent was that, huh? Because these boys are just, their faces are too close together. The jaw's open. Look at that. He's showing his dominance. It's like, what are you doing? I don't know why this other one's not responding. Maybe he is, they're establishing a social hierarchy here for sure. Ooh. Careful, boys. Annabelle, yes, I know, it's quite, hippos are just the most fascinating. You have thick skin but sensitive skin. You're very heavy but you're super fast. It's like they kind of contradict everything. Or now they're measuring each other up, sizing each other up. Okay. Interesting. And sometimes this can go on for like hours where you see them just doing this. So again, it's a very slow motion type of, it's like a battlefield, guys. They're like their own island, their own fighting ground or sizing up ground. And then you have the rest just on the side watching. It's like an arena, actually. Let me say that, yeah, an arena. They're taking their sweet time. But look how big they are. Look at those back legs. The other hippos are saying, we're minding our own business. You guys just do your own thing. Let's see. Is he still gonna talk to the other male? They have such short tails, but it does make sense. Because when they're pooping, it just goes side, 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 side. Wow. Hippos are so interesting. You can run fast, but your fighting sometimes takes so slow.
Well, we heard Amara talking about hippos, and while we were coming along, we found our own signs of hippos. We got like a bit of hippo dung here. The hippo, well, if we come back here, actually, you've got the hippo tracks, and this hippo's got a very big, I would say, left toe, which is quite... When I first saw it, I thought, what is that? Because I never saw the other part of the hippo track. Here you can see another one. This big toe here. There's the other toe. But it almost looks like a zebra track without the detail in it. But I digress. So we were talking about hippos, and we thought we'd just connect what Amara was talking about. But going back to the hippo poop, everyone talks about the hippo when it's defecating. It fans its tail like that, and there's dung like way, and some dung here. So this was quite a splattered one, as this, and it looks pretty fresh or pretty wet. You can see there's still moisture under the sand there. This would be an old dung, and then this is a little bit more recent. And I think this probably happened last night. But as you drive around here in the sands, you see a lot of hippo. They're obviously coming out and moving further and further away from the water, looking for fresh grazing. As this grass dries, they're looking for sort of good grazing. Very well, I think their poop is quite messy. As it comes out, they sort of fan it away and splatters, and obviously good for marking their territory. But this was quite a prominent one, so we thought we'd just link it with Amara, keep the synergy going. Teddy K. There's also some hyena tracks here. Yeah, Brenda, I think bumping into hippo would probably be on my sort of top terrifying things to do. Especially for when we go and fetch our dinner, he keeps saying we must watch out for the hippo. So, and they're dark, you know, so at night you don't really pick them up. You just see the shape, you know, you don't really see the eyes all the time. So yeah, I think hippo and buffalo, those are two that you've got to be really, really worried about. But I've got some good news for you. The guys in Mabula are online. Let's go and check in with them and greet them with a happy morning. I'm happy they're back as well.
Good morning, everyone. A very good morning, and welcome to Mabula Private Game Reserve. My name is Tsepo, and on the camera I am with Luyanda. This morning we have two coalitions. We have Luyanda and Tsepo coalition, and we have Katleho and Isaho coalition. Just found them in this open plain here, still resting a little bit. But one exciting thing that I have noticed is that in a couple of days that we haven't actually seen them, looks like they managed to actually get something. If you look at their stomach there, it's just super full, of which it's good news to us because we want to see them doing well. We want to see them energetic and being successful in terms of their hunt. There were some jackals a little bit earlier. They tried calling around this boys, and when the boys stood up, they were like, okay, sorry, it's our time to go. Good morning, Nancy. Oh, what a beautiful start. What a beautiful start. I definitely agree. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have a lovely day. It's fantastic. Waking up, starting a little bit earlier. They say the earliest bird catches the fattest worm. And I say the earliest guide gets to see the best sightings. And this is one of them just here. Keeping a lookout while the brother rests a little bit. I'm just super glad that they actually fed. That looks quite nice. Satisfied, boys. Well done. Good morning, Pat. Thank you so much. As you're talking about the sunshine, the sunlight is just shining so well to us. We're warming up and it's just an exciting feeling, exciting time. It's just everything together. It's just super amazing. And being able to actually find them a little bit earlier like this, where we might potentially see them starting to move, because it seems like this is where they actually spend the night. So having to find them, we might potentially start seeing them move, start seeing them marking their territory. It's just going to be a beautiful morning. I have a very good feeling about this. Now they're just taking that first light that warms the landscape. I'm enjoying that sunlight, and I believe they are too. There we go. Good morning, boy. Did you sleep well? Hi, Daisy. I have seen Katlego move or lead. Katlego is the one behind. He's the one that initiates movement quite often. So I believe Katlego is actually the dominant one out of the two. You will notice even in terms of most of the time when they mark their territory, he's the one who actually starts, and Isaho will actually follow him and do the same as well. But when it comes to hunting, Isaho is quite a little bit impatient compared to Katlego. Hello, because I've seen Katlego move first and stalk and just go flat down on the ground and just wait for that perfect moment. And before he knows it, Isaho just runs past him with the speed, and Katlego has no option but to also follow suit as well. It's just super amazing. But I think Katlego is the dominant one of the coalition. There we go. It's quite important to be able to clean up any traces of blood there, especially when you want to actually take your time and relax, because as the sun goes, any stain of blood, even on the paws like that, attract flies that makes it difficult for them to actually have a quiet and peaceful morning like this. Yeah, Isaho is just like, brother, I'm just gonna take a quick nap. You be on the lookout, and once I am done, I'll come and be on the lookout. Then you can take a nap if you want, or they will both be on the lookout. Oh, definitely, Anna Marie, a very perfect start. And we were quite lucky because when Luyanda and I came just across the corner, that's where they actually stood up. If they hadn't stood up because of how flat they were, it was going to make it a little bit difficult to actually be able to see them. But it's like they waited for us, and when we arrived, they were like, hey, why does it look like you want to actually pass? So they did that for us and for you there at home, so that you are able to see that they are doing well. Ah, isn't it perfect how in sync they are, and they just facing the same way there. There's not much happening around them on the plane here. It's only them at the moment. But also, I don't think they're going to be complaining much with the size of the stomach that they have. That will actually give them a couple of days before they can actually move or start looking again. But as we actually continue being with Katlego and Isaho to see what their plans of the day is, I'm going to send you to the highlight of the most and my top of the list sighting with the wild dogs and the cheetahs. What an exciting encounter, everyone. I'm here getting butterflies, goosebumps. How beautiful was that? That was one of the most beautiful and interesting encounters to actually find. You can actually see one of the cheetah boys being tripped a little bit, having a little bit of a roll there, and the dogs coming victorious with that impala and just ripping it into pieces. And you can just hear the sounds and just hear the excitement of victory, that we just worked super hard. It was not just a hunt, because when you hunt, it's different to when you come across another predator that can cause potential harm on you as well. So that was the most interesting part. That is why for me, I'm definitely putting it on top of my best sightings. But the beautiful thing is, they managed to actually recoup, re-strategize, and they got something. This is what we're actually seeing now. You can tell the kill might have been finished last night, or maybe just before dawn. You can actually see they still grooming themselves, of which this is quite important part, because it also increases that social bond. The bond just tightens and becomes super strong. That is why everywhere they go, they're going to go together. What they do, they're going to try together. They're going to try to hunt together. So now you can see Katleho is trying to lick off the blood of Isaho, where Isaho is unable to actually clean himself. But as we continue to admire and see these guys just doing brotherly love, I'm going to send you back to Ian with some impalas.
Yeah, well, from the cheetah and that cheetah wild dog sighting, we thought we'd spend some time with impala and hope that maybe somewhere around here predator will arrive on the scene. But these impalas looking pretty relaxed. It's a peaceful scene. I'm trying to make out that there's a herd, but there are some other bachelors in this group, a little bit to the left of those. So that's these bachelors there. They look like they're doing a bit of allo grooming, which is quite interesting. Some bromance going on. They got that incisor tooth that specializes in doing exactly what we're seeing there, which is pretty cool. I haven't really seen much of it. But they also warming up in the sun, just like me and Paul. Slowly starting to feel like the temperature's turned. What a call, that bird. Elna, here I would say the kudu would be a browser predominantly. But these impala mixed feeders, and oh, we're enjoying this chagra calling. And I'm gonna sneeze. No, I think it's past. There's still a few drongos floating around with these impala. But yeah, very un-rat-like behavior here, these males. They're doing some bonding. And just quite a peaceful scene always enjoy watching the impala, especially when they're doing a little bit of grooming. Yeah, so it looks like the cheetah have the same idea. Yeah, you know, I think that's a question that comes up quite a lot. It's like, how do you, I mean, if you look at these two, they are enjoying the sun, they doing a bit of grooming, the others are feeding. Doesn't look like they have got death and leopards and wild dogs and things on their mind. So it begs the question, like, do they really contemplate that, or do they just worry about the here and the now? They worry about the leopard when they actually see a leopard, and then they'll alarm, and that's all they can really do. You know, if you worry about a leopard sneaking up on you in this grass, chances are you're going to probably have a short life anyway with all the stress. I think one thing we do know is that if you can avoid stress, you're on the right track, but it takes quite a lot of mental control. Often the biggest fears and worries that we worry about don't actually happen. But from this peaceful impala scene, let's go back and check out the cheetah boys and see what they're up to.
Copy. One track in and one track out.
We are back and having a little bit of a morning exercise where we a little bit playful with one another here. This is just something that you can actually watch all day. I love how the sunlight actually passes through the tip of the tail there. You can see that whitish quite nicely.
Hi, I'm Amy Krantz, Wild Earth presenter and private guide. I'd love for you to join me on safari. There it is! What I bring to a safari is a genuine love and care for people. To be able to create a memorable, special experience brings me so much joy. That's what takes a normal safari and makes it extraordinary.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
Sign up today and you'll get instant access to wildlife. You'll also have access to our post-produced content, like a Wild Bush Week. Textbooks tell us that a ratio of 3 to 1 hyenas drive off lionesses. SafariLIVE catch-up.
We have got some doggies that are on the hunt.
And even that sort of cult favourite, The Wild Show. And the little one has made it out. Hopefully will rejoin the herd. Wild Earth Explorers. Wilder. Together. We know that adverts pay our bills, but you don't necessarily like them. So, this is a fantastic way to stop being interrupted. Sign up today and you'll get instant access to wildlife. 24/7, ad-free, live and on demand. No pesky commercials, no rude interruptions, just wild Africa exactly as it unfolds. Wild Earth Explorers. Wilder. Together.
Here's the third one. Pam, love the enthusiasm, and it's a pleasure to be here. Welcome to you guys for tuning in as well, and let's see if we can get some momentum and get the morning going. Yeah, it's always, I mean, we started half an hour earlier this morning and it was dark and a little bit cool, but now it's really starting to warm up, which is lovely. So I think it's going to be quite a hot day actually. I'll just say that there's not a cloud in the sky and I can feel the warmth already. These elephants are loving the sun on them as well. You can see this big shadow that's being cast over just between them. They have actively avoided that to try and allow themselves to warm up as much as they can. Moving very slowly, just kind of starting their day. I love that one's backside, the one that's in the middle, right at the back there. Almost like he's put himself in that bush trying to hide, or behind that thin tree, but he's not doing a really good job. Delaney, do elephants follow traditional pathways that get passed down through generations? They do. These elephant bulls less so. They don't really have anyone kind of like leading or controlling them. They just go wherever they want to, and wherever the food is and wherever the water is, and potentially where the females are. But in females' dynamics and structures, you will see there will be a matriarch and a kind of older, more senior, more knowledgeable, more experienced female who will kind of control where the females go, and her information as to where to go is often passed down by generation to generation, and that will, I mean, where the water is in super dry seasons, where the food is, that's all information that gets absorbed through many years of being alive and following in the footsteps of your older females, grandmothers. And a super important part, particularly in the tough times, and can be determine whether or not the herd succeeds, thrives, or even survives. Okay, but I think it's not a bad idea just to leave these elephants where they are. They're not going to get up to too much. And while we get on our way, let's go have a look at a short clip of an elephant relocation from Mabula.
As an elephant lover, their success story as well as their conservation is very close to my heart. The Wild Earth Impact Foundation has been invited to document the game capture of elephant bulls and the relocation from the Marakele Game Reserve to the Mabula Game Reserve.
We've been very fortunate that over the years we've had a wonderful collaboration with Marakele, Maratama and Andy, our vet. We've done some amazing white rhino, black rhino, now elephants. So yeah, it's momentous, it's epic for us.
You know, with conservation as a whole, it's got a lot of challenges to face. So specifically with elephants, they're facing more and more challenges. We have, you know, the same or more elephants now and less habitat year by year. So to be able to move elephants from one property to another and you know, creating safe habitat for the species is really special.
Stick with us and let's see what happens. It seems like the elephant has got a bit of a cut just underneath the trunk.
The vets are making 100% sure that it's not something that could become a problem.
So the vets are administering some form of antiseptic, whatever cut it's got doesn't get infected.
We're just taking care of the animal throughout the anesthetic procedure.
They are monitoring the breathing.
Breathing is never a good.
We try and pick a healthy animal before we dart.
But it doesn't look too serious. This is what happens to bulls in the wild, in nature.
Like removing 2 bulls today?
2 bulls today and 2 tomorrow. Yeah.
2 tomorrow, okay, perfect.
But yeah, the capture team's almost here.
My name is Kester Vickery. I'm from an organization called Conservation Solutions. We specialize in translocating wildlife from one protected area to another.
You know, Kester's super professional. His equipment's really nice, and like the team from Marataba, Mabula, and the Lapalala guys this morning, it's just really epic to work with everybody.
Catching elephants is a very complex process, and in all of this, while we're working with the elephants, we want to keep them immobilized and asleep. We've got to work with them when they're on the ground, put collars, run various procedures.
So this is a VHF and a GPS collar. So we will set the uplinks to about every 10 minutes, so we can get their location every 10 minutes, just until they settle in nicely. And then the VHF is for the telemetry, which helps us track them on foot if need be.
So this piece of equipment
it's a pulse oximeter, so it measures the level of oxygenation in his blood. So we want it to be anywhere above 80. We're getting it to hover around 90, which is great, but we are providing him a little bit of oxygen, which is not completely necessary, but it just makes us feel more comfortable. And then the bottom number is a heart rate monitor.
So the 3rd elephant is down, and luckily this one, there's no need for chainsaws, there's no need to cut parts, it's gone down on the road.
And then more importantly, we've got to load them on a truck.
How are we going to bring him from here onto there?
Okay, so we're going to lift him by his feet. And then whilst we're lifting him, we're going to fit the other ropes that we're going to use at the loading truck. You'll see when we position him on the truck, it almost looks like he's hanging too far off the truck, but as we roll him, then he's nicely on the truck.
So it's always anxious moments while you're working with these big animals. Try our best to make sure, of course, that the elephants are fine, but our crew too need to look after themselves in this process.
Obviously, you've got people that we need to take care of in a big 5 environment. It's a heavy animal, there's heavy equipment, so we need to make sure that no one's getting squashed or pinching fingers and things like that.
It's really dangerous work. Everyone is passionate about what they do, and a great dedicated crew of people who are doing this for a living and making a difference in the conservation world.
So that piece of apparatus is basically what they use to weigh these elephants. So the elephant's now being placed onto the flatbed. It weighs about 2.5 tons.
And the nice part about it is they recently broke away from their herd.
Okay.
Which is great for us as an introduction, because now you introduce them into an area
and they can go together.
Dispersed.
The underside of an elephant's foot, for those who've ever wanted to know, it's very hard.
What a beautiful highlight. And you will notice that it's a reminder that it takes time, it takes commitment, it takes love, it takes everything and effort to actually conserve these guys. What a breathtaking moment when the elephant was hanging upside down there. Very unusual to see. And you just see the effort that is actually being put in conservation, just to make sure that we conserve these guys for future generations. And we thank you for being part of every moment and making sure that the future generation is able to actually see. But please worry not, you will be able to actually see part 2 of the relocation a little bit later. We're definitely going to show you that. It's always awesome and always breathtaking. I was part of an elephant relocation, and you just need to be on point. There is no room for mistake. So our ecology teams, our vets, our rangers, guides, and everyone that are involved just working so hard behind the scenes that we actually get to see this beautiful animal actually thriving quite well. So it's quite amazing on how we just see these gentle giants moving through the bush and feeding just peacefully. Behind the scene, it just takes a lot, and we are grateful, and thank you also for being part of that, making it possible, making it happen, so that we are able to actually conserve this, guys. We are still with Katlego and Isaho. I'm not sure if Wildebeest is going to be excited when he comes back to his territory, because Katlego is sitting directly where he actually do. Good morning, Lola. Oh, yes. It's quite interesting. They often involve the guides in that, just to see what actually happens and what it actually takes, so you have that kind of exposure to behind the scenes and what is actually happening. So I have been fortunate to actually be on most of them, rhino relocation, elephant relocation, and it is, if you haven't seen him, if you haven't seen and experienced it, it's even hard to imagine how would they actually move an elephant that is the biggest land-living mammal. And when you see it happen, it's just breathtaking, because you'll just be like, wow, I never thought it's going to actually be this difficult, but at the very same time that easy and quick to actually get an elephant in the truck and just getting it upside down, being able to weigh it. It's just breathtaking moments. So I have been fortunate to actually be part, as Mabula do give that opportunity to guides. Katlego chose to actually be a little bit on sand rather than on grass, and that is where wildebeest marks its territory, and it's an active one. They even marked sand marked on a tree next to it. But we are going to let Katlego and Isaho be, and hopefully we find something quite nice. But in the meantime, I'm going to send you back to Imara with some waterbucks.
Ooh, cheetahs. Oh, sleepy cats. They're always the best to watch also. Little chapatis. And here we have some antelopes, the waterbuck to be precise. And today morning it has been really nice so far. The hippos, we left them, they're still having a bit of their teeth off, face off. And with that one, it can take hours sometimes. So we said, okay, we'll just come back and see them later. We'll go back there, but here we are at the marsh area, and we noticed all these female waterbucks, and at a point they were just staring in one location, and I was curious, why are they just staring in one location, looking through the binos. We will try to spot the hyenas again, so there were like 4 or 5 hyenas just hiding in the grass and then poking out their heads, so that was quite interesting too, so I will try get that for you guys. But these guys look so healthy, so happy. I love seeing the young ones. Can see they're much lighter coat. It's not unusual for animals, the older they get, the darker the coat, and also genetics play a big role. But these are all females. Oh, look at that. Just love seeing them. They're not a favorite of any big cat because on their skin they can release pheromone, like a scent that is not the most pleasing to the big cats. and they usually just try to avoid them as much as possible. However, in the marsh area today it's a bit of activity. Look at them. Look at the one with the dark coat also. So with the male waterbuck, he likes to have his area full of resources, so water, grass. But I don't know, I've been seeing one male, but I haven't seen him here. We usually see him around when we're driving. He's usually alone, and we always wonder, why are you alone? What's up? But for him, he's just keeping guard of his territory. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this many waterbucks in one location. And with these guys, there's no like hierarchy like other antelope species. There's no like strict dominance or a single leader. They just kind of move on, and best part is when you have more eyes and ears around. One is being a bit playful, but they're very, very alert. That's what I'm curious about, because what is that? Okay, it's just a bird. Okay. They're making me alert too, because at a point they actually just stopped and started looking in one direction, all of them. And I trust animal senses a lot more than mine. This is their home. They know it much better. When they feel uncomfortable, they will definitely look around and let the rest know that they're uncomfortable. I see when they're walking, one looks up, then they continue down. More eyes on the ground, more awareness around. And we did see a young one, I think last time, but I don't think it's in this group. Oh, look at all of them just walking together. Jenny, thank you for your question. Well, with the waterbucks, they do know that a lot of big animals don't like to go into water. And for example, some lions, let's say they have phobias. So they know this. It's like, oh, you guys don't like water. We're going to always jump into the water. Well, if there's a water body near them. And, lions, leopards, they sometimes are reluctant to kind of go into deep water. So even the deep water, there's crocodiles. So even the lions and the leopards, even whatever is chasing them is just like, whoa, they double think. They just kind of pause. It's not, I'm going to jump in. But it depends on the animal, of course, but they know this. And it's very, very interesting how they do so. So they do kind of exploit the fear of some big cats in water. It's one of the biggest reasons. I haven't seen them actually swimming ever. Maybe one day we will, but I don't know. Look at that. We're still gonna look around because I think they're getting closer to where they're hiding as well. But in the meantime, gonna go see if any search for lions is successful. At least we can get some big cat luck.
Okay, welcome back, and we have a very crucial part to our puzzle, next puzzle piece in our quest for the daily update in the Black Dam Pride. And we've got some pretty fresh tracks of these lions. The pride of them is quite a few of them. I'm pretty sure it's from the same group that we were with yesterday. And if you kind of like follow the tracks down, have a look at this one specifically. It's kind of cutting off to the left, and there's no more on the road. So these lines have cut off to the left, and if I were a betting man, I would have guessed them to be sitting right here in the Timbavati River, which is not far from here. But that was not the case. I've actually just done a walk here, and I've found exactly where they crossed over the river. A few of them as well. So they've already crossed over onto the other side of the river, and what they were up to last night, I'm not 100% sure. But even yesterday when we were with them, it was like they were on the move and hunting, and they might have to cover a large distance looking for their next meal, even though they've just come off of a giraffe carcass. So yeah, I mean, that's our next puzzle piece in this little journey. And we've got to do a nice big loop around and see if we can find the next one, maybe crossing on the other side of the river on that road. I haven't walked across there. I didn't cross the river myself. But a very important puzzle piece to collect in this journey. And let's see if we can't catch up and find these lions. Who knows what they could be up to. I mean, they could have caught anything in the process. Maybe an impala, which wouldn't have lasted very long amongst them. Maybe they've caught another big piece of prey. Maybe they've done nothing. Maybe they're still moving. But let's get back on the vehicle and let's carry on, cross over the river and see if we can catch up with these lions.
There we go. That is the most beautiful thing about the mystery of the bush. You never know what's around the corner. So we have left Katlego and Isago to have the day and just have that peaceful moment, and we're going to continue just to see what we can actually find. Yeah, some impala tracks. Everyone is trying to start off the day now. Oh, really? It's one of that moment that you just in that wow moment, because you see little things that you struggle to actually see when you are in a vehicle. So when you are in a vehicle, the smaller things, the signs, the small insects, it's things that you actually miss. But when you are on foot and you're walking and you're taking your time, the bush just speaks louder with just small interesting things, from the territorial markings, from the scent markings, the sign markings, and the little trails that they actually make through the blocks when they actually move. For me, that is just quite interesting. I had a privilege of being on a hot air balloon and being able to also see those from top and seeing them on foot. It's just super amazing how animals just use that one track to just continue so that they do not actually damage what they eat. So it is quite interesting to actually experience things on walk. So we're going to make our way towards the main dam, and hopefully we are able to get some life. But as we continue our search, I am going to send you to Imara with some hyenas.
Yes, our hyenas are here, and good luck with the water body, and luck itself we got to ride in a hot air balloon. So guys, they put their head down. You had some hyenas right there, and they're watching the water bucks, and they just kind of hid. And I'm just curious, I don't know if they have their den nearby, but our water bucks actually had to maneuver in a way that avoided the hyenas. Let's see, maybe I can continue on the road. So you can see them behind this other tall grass, because this whole area is just tall grass, tall grass. Ah, hold on. Good morning. Actually, yeah. Still looking around. Our cheeky hyena. So you can see our water bucks are there, then the hyena. Yeah. And that's not the only one. There were two more, and then I saw another one walking, and I was so curious, like, okay, you guys smelling something that we aren't. Look at the water bucks looking back at the hyena. This is, I think, what the water bucks were looking at for sure, because there's a point when I told you guys that they were just looking straight ahead. I haven't seen many hyenas. We usually do have a lot in the Masai Mara. The population is very, very healthy. They are nocturnal, but it's not too unrare to, let's say, see them during the day or mornings like this. I'm just curious to why they look so cautious, because we did hear there was a male around the marsh, but we came no sign. So that's why we want to look at the other animals, how they're reacting, because they're the best indicators of the updates of the area. Holly, ooh, good question. I've seen hyenas actually chasing one hyena, a single one, chasing a wildebeest one time. We tried keeping up with them, but they disappeared into like some really, all the hills, a lot of them. And the hyena just usually kind of depends on the long distance running. They're very good at keeping up with endurance and making the animal they're chasing tired. So that happened. But if they're all together, yeah, they can. You can see them doing individually or together. I'm sure when they're together, it is maybe easier to take down a bigger animal. But for them, they don't really suffocate animals the way our big cats do. They just actually start eating and biting into the animal itself. Hi, now where are you going? You're like sniffing out something. That's the thing. The behavior right now has been really interesting. Hyenas have a very powerful nose, so their sense of smell is amazing. That's why I'm just looking at them and just trying to make sure that, oh, okay, good night or good morning. Just trying to make sure that it is smelling something, and if maybe we're not smelling it, the hyena will pick it up. Oh, but I do love the marsh area. We're on a different side of it. It's very big. As far as you can see. And last time we did have Otipo with who else was here? Okingo. Yeah, they were both here last time I saw them. That's why I'm wondering which male was spotted. And in the marsh, it's very tough to spot sometimes. You see, you have a topi and all the water bucks. I even saw a buffalo. But once they go into the small dips, it's like they just disappear. There's a lot of hidden tunnels here. Underground tunnels where our lions used to get to one place to another. Yeah, they're still looking around. Anastasia, thank you for your question. Yeah, some crossings have been happening. Very, 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 very far from where we are, and it does depend. Maybe hyenas, yeah, the wildebeest do come and feed a lot of the big cats and a lot of carnivores, because I think wildebeests, they do have horns, but I think they're much easier to target than a lot of different antelopes. If you look at topis, even lions getting a topi is like tough. A wildebeest is much smaller than a topi. I think even the muscle mass and being in abundance, it's like if you miss one, you'll catch another one. So maybe the hyenas, but also there's some locations, there's some areas where you'll see like lots and lots of hyenas. Was it in Triangle? Triangle, there's that hyena clan. The big one, right? Yeah, Mara Triangle. And I've never seen those hyenas, but I've heard there's so many of them. There used to be a lot of them on that side. If you go towards even like Talek sides, there's a lot of hyenas. This area, I get to see them here and there. That's why I'm saying it's really nice to see these hyenas today, even though they're laying down. But who knows, maybe they have decided to walk up to the other side to get some wildebeest, but there are so many different hyena clans and their numbers do vary. Some are very big, the clans are like so many of them, and then you have areas like this where you're seeing like the one or two here and there. So the environment does even determine the population of the hyenas, but they're all over Mara. It's just where they have their den and where they frequently visit. And also, is there a lot of food in abundance there? A lot of some other hyenas like to follow buffaloes also, because when buffaloes, they always like giving birth. You're seeing like a new baby. And when the mother is done, of course, with the afterbirth, the hyena can come and clean up. So they also do that to follow buffaloes. So it all really does depend on so many different elements in one thing. It looks like one motorbike is sitting, but they're actually standing. So there's some sections, I'm telling you, it just gets really deep where you can't see where the legs are starting and ending. Janine, right? How beautiful that is. And then at the far end, that's now reaching the edge of the Masai Mara that now goes into a conservancy. So this area is a very favorite for a lot of antelopes. They do like to be sometimes next to maybe some settlements because they know big cats don't like to go anywhere near humans. So for them, they're like, oh, we see that you guys are, they keep them away, so why not? You can see the escarpment again. I just love this area because we get to see the marsh from this other side. We usually drive on the other side to see it, so it's a different angle. Hello, black-headed heron. Maybe we'll try search a little bit more for one of the boys we did here was around. But I hear Dan is also on the search for lions. Guys, we're trying to get you some big cats. More big cats, actually. So let's go see how it's going.
Okay, thanks, Amara. I agree with you. Birding is a really great way to keep things entertaining and moving and keep up with momentum, particularly when things are a bit quiet. And okay, so a little update from what's happening this side is I've looped around onto the other side of the river and trying to understand exactly where I last was with those tracks. I'm pretty sure I was on the other side of this river when we saw them. I followed the tracks down and they might have crossed over here. Just wanting to double check around here and see if we can't find those tracks coming out. I mean, it would be so perfect if they were just sitting in the river. On a morning like this, it was a little bit cooler in the river there though, so maybe they've come out of it just to be a bit warm and catch the sun first thing. There's a little road around to check here, so we've just got to carefully look in that river in case we have missed them. You really want to just take this next step the process nice and slow, because if you miss the next piece, it could cost you hours of tracking. Desert Rose, would I suggest a bushwalk when going to a reserve? Certainly. I mean, it depends what you're coming on a safari for. I mean, most people are coming to see all of the animals, and the best way to see the animals is actually from a vehicle. So people spend most of their time operating on a vehicle. But if you really want to connect and put yourselves in a different kind of situation and allow for the environment to, I mean, you feel a little bit more vulnerable and it feels more real when you're walking in the bush here, particularly if you're following tracks of something and you kind of dictating what has happened and you're actually walking in the footsteps of whatever it is that you're tracking, whether it be a pride of lions or a leopard or an elephant. And it's a serious skill, and it's a great way to also observe a lot of the smaller things, a lot of the beautiful flowers that we often miss while we are driving. Great way to absorb the sounds and the smells that you often miss when we are on a vehicle as well. So I think a bushwalk is certainly a great idea. It's often for people who have been on a few more safaris than just their first one. But yeah, it's a really good way, different way to experience the bush. So it's a completely different set of skills, which is so valuable and a great thing to learn. So I would highly recommend walking safaris. One of the more popular ones that I really like to do is several days away, and when you walk in the mornings, you kind of walk, I don't know, anywhere between 10 and 15 kilometers in the morning, and then take it easy during the middle of the day, and in the afternoon take a casual drive just to find a beautiful drink stop. It's not about what you see, but it's about the whole experience and the journey, and a nice long walk in the morning is a really good way to do it. A really good idea for that is pick a scenic area. There's so many scenic places, and Kruger National Park has got many. One of the most scenic and one of my favorite is up in the north in the Pufuri area. Really is the most biodiverse area in the Kruger, and has an unbelievable amount of birds. The trees, the baobabs up there are magnificent. The vegetation, the rivers, and the privacy. It's really is a private and exclusive area, and that's the type of area that really sells being on foot and being able to walk and explore that area without a vehicle. It gives you access to so much more.
Can you hear that sound? The way it grows, the way it calls you to come alive. Can you feel the rhythm? The way it beats with the land? Do you feel alive again? Or maybe you never left. You don't just visit the wild, you return to it.
Explorers get exclusive extras like extended safaris, private live drives, fireside chats, and the Jackie's Waterhole Cam. Your membership also unlocks early access to travel opportunities, competitions, merchandise, and prizes. So sign up today and you could even win a luxury safari travel prize. Not bad, right? We know that adverts pay our bills, but you don't necessarily like them. So, this is a fantastic way to stop being interrupted. Sign up today and you'll get instant access to wildlife. 24/7, ad-free, live and on demand. No pesky commercials, no rude interruptions, just wild Africa exactly as it unfolds. Wild Earth Explorers, wilder together.
This is a rhino track here, and look at how big that actually is compared to my hand here. So this spot here is quite important for animals, especially on rainy season, because some of them are a little bit heat sensitive. They do not have much hair protecting their skin from the sun, so they're going to actually come and do mud wallowing here to cool themselves down. But once they do actually cool themselves down, it becomes super interesting, because they will now, if you actually look, the rhino and some of the other animals will actually come and try to use branches like this to actually scratch themselves, especially under on the stomach, because when they actually move through the grass, they start picking up ticks and all that. And most of the time you see oxpeckers are going to actually be on top. So branches like this, especially when you are out of the mud like that, is going to actually help where they put their stomach on top. Oh yes, Lola, Elephants get interested in mud. Once they do actually find something like this, they do actually now be able to play a little bit in it, spray the mud on their back as well, just to create that layer. So the bigger it actually gets, elephants as well are going to actually be interested in coming and doing this. And the beautiful thing about elephants as well is when there is no water, they are able to dig where water is not quite far. But while we are still on the question of elephants, I am going to send you to watch the part 2 of the elephant relocation.
Oh my goodness. Never have you ever seen something like that before. There you can see the elephant, obviously in that harness.
Kester will fit like a steel bar along his back.
Okay.
And then the ropes will connect to that steel bar and he'll lift on that back into the truck.
Okay. You might not be able to hear it, but all you can hear is tink, 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 and that's all the ropes tensioning. And basically they're going to put them into the, as they call, the wake-up bin.
In this process, of course, we've had it before where elephants wake up. Generally, we try and keep them asleep for most of the journey.
The truck's got hydraulics with the whole roof open, so he'll actually wake up on his feet.
And that'll be slightly easier for him.
It's much easier because with a big bull, they don't always get up easily in the truck because he's in a confined space.
Okay.
Whereas now he'll be able to get up, or he'll already be on his feet. So it's a very seamless process.
So the reversal drug has just been administered. There you go. So they're going to start lowering him down more, so he's on his feet. There he goes. Now he's awake. You see the trailer starting to move a little bit. Trying to figure out where he is. He must be very, very confused. Well, they're going to get this trailer close to there. They're going to open the door and then they're going to just try and usher the elephant into this last compartment. Adjusting, trying to figure out where he is, obviously because the last he remembered he was walking around in the bush, fell asleep, and now he's in a very, very dark place. And now he's going to the bathroom, as you can hear. Procedure's done, and then it's just left to them traveling from here to Mabula.
So it was also very nice to see the continuation of where the animals go to and be able to work with them on that side as well. It's nice to see some friendly faces when you're on that side as well.
And friendly we are.
Let's talk about the animals.
We have made it back to Mabula, and just down the road the elephants in the truck are making their way up towards what I believe is a ramp for them to exit the trailer from. It's quite a high trailer, so they do need a little bit of a landing in order for them to get off safely.
After delivering the animal, it's got to be monitored pretty closely by the team at Mabula to make sure that it's adapting well. They are moving from a predominantly sweet felt area into a mixed sour sweet felt area at Mabula, so it's got a bit of a forage adaptation to go through, but with it being the end of summer after really good rain, there should be good forage available for it.
The importance for us is that we're managing populations as meta populations. They're not isolated anymore, and with crews like this we can integrate new bulls, new genetics, we can get that hybrid vigor in there, which is immensely important for us.
Right, so they're about to let the first elephants out. They've positioned this ramp nicely so that when they climb they basically climb out and go down. We've placed the camera there. Hopefully they don't take the camera. If they do, it will be good footage, but this is a very exciting moment for Mabula. We're not too sure exactly where they're going to go, so all the vehicles are behind the back of the trailer. We're just waiting in anticipation to see what happens.
So we've had 2 really successful days here at Marakele National Park. Not easy. There's been rain, there's been hectic weather, and of course the elephants themselves have been in some fairly challenging areas. But we are very pleased.
It takes a lot to plan this. It takes even more to implement it, and the hard work now is to monitor and make sure, like Andy says, they integrate into existing population.
But everything's gone well, especially this last bull is a nice big bull. So very nice to work with those creatures and very nice to work with the whole team that's around. It's obviously always very special.
Epic introduction. It's the first time in 30 years that we're introducing elephants to Mabula. So yes, epic times. Andy, thanks for doing this with us.
Thanks, Anna.
And that's the last interview.
That's
Bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. We really hope that you enjoyed following us over the last 2 days as we witnessed 6 elephant captures, 4 of which are now roaming around on Mabula Private Game Reserve. And we actually look forward to seeing them on our live drives.
It's okay, big guy. It's okay, big guy. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Donate today using the QR code below.
Well, we've been a little bit quiet, but there's been a reason for that, and we've just connected with the Lion Pride, which is fantastic, really exciting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lions. This youngster is still suckling. But yeah, great to see the pride. There's 2 there, and we've got another 2, 3 lionesses ahead of us. Sorry, my hat's in the way there.
Yeah, what's happening with that block there? Just down.
While we were sitting here waiting for you to come over, sounded like quite a crazy clip that you were watching with that elephant relocation. Quite a feat there, moving those big animals. Oh, there's another cub that just put its head up. They're in the shade now. It's sort of slowly started to warm up, but these lions have just put their head up. Now they go down. But yeah, really great. I know the team were tracking them all over the place, and they had some success.
Head down.
Sorry. my head coming in the way there, but the Ngumas, yeah, me too. I've also heard a lot about this big pride, and we heard their tracks, and they were off on some of the other properties, and I've seen some pictures on social media of them around a waterhole, and I was getting a little bit FOMO'd. So really, really nice to connect with them. These cubs are a lot bigger than I thought they were. Just another morning for the lioness here.
Ian, maybe let's reverse and then you put the...
I'm just going to move a bit so that we can get a little bit of a different angle. Paul's got some creative ideas here. Then I'm not ducking out the way. But we've been waiting patiently to have a turn, to have a look at the pride. Cat today indeed, Dake. Yeah, that is something that we heard them the first time we heard them on the radio, and we're really hoping to connect with them. At one stage we thought they might cross out over the cut line, but they found a really nice place to rest up. Hopefully they'll be here the whole day. Somewhere in the shade, somewhere in the sun. Doing what lions do best at this time of day. I'm trying to sort of see if I can count them all, but they sort of dotted around. There's like a big termite mound here, and then another termite mound with grassy areas. We are currently on Annette's or Jackie's, so that's where we are. But we are, well, now that spur file has got some of the heads up or looking. It's that sort of alarm language. I think that there's another vehicle that was driving out of the sighting, and suddenly all the lionesses put their head up. Even the cubs stopped drinking. Yeah, I was saying we are on the sort of western edge of Annette's. Now the eyelids get heavy, and they start to get into sort of the heads. Sorry, I was just listening to the radio there. There's another vehicle that wants to come and join the sighting. But yeah, their eyelids are drooping, the heads start to drop, and then every now and again they'll sort of get alert and wake up.
Thank you so much, Bert.
But just great to see so many in the pride. You know, I'm not used to seeing such big prides.
Just have to navigate the light carriage.
Yeah, Safari Vibes, I think the Nkumas are crowd favourite, that's for sure, and you can see why. The sheer numbers. Just beautiful cats. and also, yeah, nice to connect with them. These are the sort of characters that we hear about when we're on the other locations, and to actually meet them and sit here with them is a real privilege indeed. Every now and again they just keep popping their head up, see what's going on. Another cub down at the bottom there.
Well, I'm out and about, as you can see, today morning, out in Masai Mara. But since we've been sitting for a bit of time and I haven't done the dance for you guys ever since I introduced it, I'm talking about the Big Five dance. So if you're able to get up and see if we're able to do the dance, I hope you remembered. I'm just going to remind you again. Lion, okay, remember the big mane, yeah. Elephants, big ears. Got the rhino, of course we know why the rhino, the beautiful horn. And then we have the leopard, very good at climbing trees, their claws. And we have the buffaloes, they're always moving, always marching, buffalo soldier kind of vibe. So we're gonna do it randomly. So leopard, elephant, rhino, lion, buffalo, rhino, elephant, and lion. That was just to mix it up to see if you guys would be able to get it. I hope you did. If you want me to go faster, I'll try to a bit faster. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Buffalo, leopard, rhino, elephant, lion. Just for us to kind of move a bit, and also just to get a bit active. And when we're sitting for so long, it's good to get the legs, the body, the blood moving. Nice. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bonnie, thank you so much. I like it too. I don't know why I haven't done it since the last time, but now we're good. Even Big James is doing. Big James, which one? Tell us which one you want us to do. He says rhino, elephant, leopard. In my head, I know what I'm going to say. That's why I'm much faster. If you're not much faster, it's okay. We just keep on practicing. Just remember, we have the lion. Oh my gosh, I almost said elephant. Lion, elephant, rhino, leopard, buffalo. And we're going to take you back to Ian and his lions. Back to Ian.
Well, we're back, and we heard there were some males in the area, so we thought we'd just have a quick look here to see what the males are doing. They are pretty flat as well, unfortunately, but just to give everyone an idea, because we noticed there isn't too much time on the show left, so we thought we'd just come over to the boys, give them a little bit of airtime. I heard there were more than one. I'm not sure if it's just this one. I can't see anything in this grass. But that one's got a bit of a saw. I don't know if you noticed that when he put his put his left arm up there, and there was a bit of maybe they had a bit of a bar fight, Monet. I just saw it there. You see that? Is that blood there? Oh, didn't get a good look. Oh, this one's got lots of cuts on the back of his leg there. So yeah, it's been a bit of a rough one. Rough start to the weekend, if that's... Oh, is that still... Jeez, there's some puncture wounds on the back of him. the life of a lion. But yeah, nice that he rolled over. Now he's sort of gone into static mode. Are those bites? Looks pretty owie. Or Aina, as we would say in South Africa. Needs a bit of, well, they look pretty clean. I think they lick them clean. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a whole bunch of little wounds there. Yeah, I guess these lions are pretty resilient, and that's what they do. They fight. They fight and they survive, and if they don't survive, I guess the next strongest one comes proper survival of the fittest out here, that's for sure. But he's probably about 100 meters from the Pride. Yeah, Safari Vibes, I think everyone's quite happy to see that he's come out of that dip. We still think he's gonna make it, so lots of optimism. But it'd be nice to see his face as well, and just see him get up and just proof of health. Just get a good gauge on what shape he is in. Yeah, I'm sure he'll muscle his way in there if he is with the Pride and comes across their kill. That's usually what lions do. Just watching, it looks like he might be going to roll again. Are you going to come and show us your face, my boy? You can see a little bit of rib cage there, so maybe, oh, here we go. I was just watching some vultures fly over, or a vulture and a harrier hawk, gymnogene, fly over. But he sort of got up, looking out in a like easterly direction. I wonder what he's noticed. Yeah, quite a lot going on here now. It's the Pride behind him, there are birds flying over. Every now and again you'll have a spur fowl alarm. So I think this improved weather has brought about improved fortunes for our game drive this morning. Just an update from Rulani. Apparently a hyena stole her carcass, we heard on the radio. So she might have to get into action again. But, oh, there he goes back to sleep. I've still only noticed the one male, so I don't know. Wild at heart, I was just looking around. I had from the radio it sounded like there were two males here. We might just be parked in the wrong area, but I've been having a look. I haven't noticed the other one, but it could be that he's behind a bush or in the shade somewhere or in this long grass. I don't want to go driving around too much. But I haven't noticed him yet. I'm looking, I'm scanning. Oh, Jackie, I think the males do their own thing. He might be a little bit vulnerable. They might not tolerate him with the younger cubs. You know, they just want their space. He might just be also, you know, with these wounds, he might not want the playfulness of, I don't know, a cub jumping on him. There could be a few reasons. But he's close, but not, you know, like I said, about 100 meters away. I'm looking back now and I can just see one female behind us. She's sort of watching us. Yeah, make your way, you'll see me here. I'm just talking to one of the other guys who's coming in. It's just us at the moment, which is quite a pleasure. We were quite patient and came in at the tail end of the sighting, but the lions have still got their heads up. Well, the lioness, the one that I can see from here. But this guy's gone flat. And I'm thinking maybe we go and check back in on the lioness while we've still got a little bit of time on the show. Let's do that. It's supposed to be a 2-track here, but I've kind of lost it. Oh, here we go. So we'll just move around. We'll go and check in the...
Alright then, let me show you what you're missing. Our archive allows you to delve into the past, be it yesterday or many years ago. You can visit characters who've left us.
Doesn't ever get old.
This is, of course, the Little Prince, Hosanna, guides who've moved on to other things.
Tingana's walking right in front of my vehicle.
These guys are the sausage tree pride.
Classic stories and wonderful moments. Wild Earth Explorers, wilder together. When the Mara turns green, life surges, the air hums, the earth stirs, and the wild comes alive. Here, the wonder never ends. It just changes color. Every storm, every sunrise, every sweeping vista is an expression of wild magic. Visit the Masai Mara. Experience the magic. Wild Earth Explorers, wilder together. We know that adverts pay our bills, but you don't necessarily like them. So, this is a fantastic way to stop being interrupted. Sign up today and you'll get instant access to wildlife. 24/7, ad-free, live and on demand. No pesky commercials, no rude interruptions, just wild Africa exactly as it unfolds. Wild Earth Explorers, wilder together.
Is already enough, and hopefully I did it well and better. I'll keep on practicing, and hopefully we can get it way super like this. But as we actually continue to see what we can actually get, I am going to send you back to Imara.
Oh, Sapo, you did the dance. Thank you. The second person now to do the dance on the drive. I didn't know you were watching it and learning it, so thank you. And I know you did pretty well with it. It's a nice straightforward dance just for us to kind of get engaged with the animals, and I'll try create more so we can add more animals to the dance, and then maybe we'll even have 10 more animals in it. But suppose, yeah, I'm sure yours was pretty good. Here we are with some zebras. Yay! I have been looking for them. We did see them one time, actually yesterday, but they walked away. And now we get to appreciate their lovely stripes. Zebras are just so beautiful, so unique. It just makes you wonder, like, why did you guys decide to choose black and white? But honestly, the whole reason behind it, the camouflage is one of them, and also their way of cooling off. They have a way to regulate their temperature. So with lions, for example, if you're seeing all zebras together, because most of the time you do see them in herds, they're together, sometimes you see them just, wandering around. But with the lions now differentiating between where does one zebra begin, where does it end, it kind of becomes confusing even for us. If we saw like a really big herd, myself, I'd have to look at these guys much longer, because those stripes do kind of play a very visual illusion to a lot of the predators. And these guys are also known for their very powerful kicks and bites. They're like horses. Even the males are known as stallions, so they are very good at defending themselves, and those stripes play a big role. And with the whole part of regulating their body temperatures, you have the black, which absorbs heat, white reflecting the light, so it kind of now creates a miniature kind of cycle of air movement. So they have their own AC inbuilt function, which is again amazing. And look at that zebra. Oh, they look so beautiful. I love zebras so much. We get to see them around for sure, but not all the time. They follow the wildebeest, they come and cross over at the same time. Terry, I assume they have, because I don't know if you watched one of the times, I think 2 weeks ago, we had an endless number of zebras just walking across. They were not crossing the river, but they were next to what is called main crossing. It's another area where we like to check out in case any activity is happening. So far I've heard it's pretty empty, but that area had so many zebras, and I wonder where they went. Maybe they've just scattered into more of this side of the savannas, so I am assuming these guys did cross over. But we also have our resident zebras who like to even go into the conservancies a lot. They prefer areas with like nice short grass. I know there's a bit of tall grass here, but they do enjoy different parts of the Mara. MacroLife, thank you for tuning in for the morning drive. It has been lovely. We've enjoyed it. From all the animals we've seen, at least some of the big cats. We didn't get any of our lions today, but we will try in the afternoon. But at least we get to see some beautiful zebras. I like to say Deborah because you're just replacing the Z with a De. So I just like giving them different nicknames here and there. It's just my silly personality. But look at those stripes. They're so healthy. So healthy, so beautiful. There's just something about them that just wants to make you look at them for much longer. And everyone, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't say how grateful we are from us ourselves here in the Masai Mara, everyone in South Africa, and we just hope that you're keeping well, staying hydrated, being like the zebras, regulating your temperatures, wearing your stripes. But we have enjoyed it today morning, and I hope you take care, and we'll see you in the afternoon, hopefully. Until then, bye-bye.
Good evening.
Did you hear that?
A bit of vitamin D. Very majestic. Look at this guy.
Welcome to Bush Tech Safari Plus. This week brought plenty of predators, rare sightings, some sweet family moments, and of course a few surprises along the way. Let's take a look at the stories and behind the scenes moments that made this week